walks onto stage. Good whatever, lady and gentlemen. 2010, the year we made contact, was released in 1984. It is the sequel to 2001, A Space Odyssey, and is meant to explain the mysterious monolith's purpose. However, this is done through seemingly paranormal means, rather than the continuation of an alien-themed opera seen in the original film. In this movie, Dave appears as a ghost to the new crew, and warns them of a coming event. You're going to need a bigger bot. Oh yeah. Spoilers. Rolls eyes. Unlike 2001 A Space Odyssey, 2010 is a popcorn science fiction movie, grounded in the politics of the time, with an in-your-face conclusion of what the monoliths are. Pauses. Alien scientists. And man's headstone. Smirks. The story is straightforward. The Leonov is ready to leave Earth before Discovery 2. So the Americans ask to hitch a ride to Jupiter. They arrive at Jupiter to find Discovery 1 abandoned. They stabilize Discovery 1 and reboot HAL. Dave appears, as if by magic. Some monolith shit goes down. They decide to get the fuck out of there. The Leonov escapes just as Jupiter implodes into a star. The aliens give man the middle finger. Pauses. You're fired. The end. Goodbye. Pauses. But seriously, what is good about 2010, the year we make contact? Well, it has some nice special effects. It was made in 1984, so they were still using models. They spend some time on comparing the technology and social differences between the Americans and Russians. The Leonov is large and clumsy when compared to Discovery 1. The difference between a truck and Kit, the talking car, from the 80s. Even though 9 years have passed, the Russians are behind the Americans technologically. An attempt to downplay the importance of functionality over design. At least the Leonov's computer did not attempt to murder the entire crew. Rolls eyes. Roy Scheider from Jaws plays the lead character, with Helen Mirren playing his Russian counterpart. Unlike 2001 A Space Odyssey, there is a large crew, with the Leonov being more like the Nostromo in Alien than a Discovery 1 era spacecraft. This may have been because dark, dumb, and moody made money, whilst intelligent, light, and optimistic did not. There are not any shuttles or transporter beams in 2010. The crew have to, literally, hop over to Discovery 1 with the aid of a rickety space bridge. This is an interesting touch, and adds a little tension and realism. Pauses. In contrast, the Leonov's flight controls make the flight deck look like a fucking disco. A cameo with John Travolta dancing on the briefing table would not have looked out of place. The lighting throughout the ship is dark and moody, like a cocktail bar. Maybe the Russians were expecting to hook up on the mission and escape to the west. Scientifically, discovering life on Europa is possible, since it has plenty of water, it is thought. Water and life go together on planet Earth. Although Jupiter is not massive enough to form a star, it is thought to be made of mostly gases. So, if enough mass was added to them, the gravitational forces could possibly ignite them into a sustainable fusion reaction. In theory, Jupiter could be turned into a second sun. The original monolith is depicted as being in orbit, with the two Earth spaceships shown alongside. 2010 makes no attempt to use majestic alignments or conceptual depictions to add gravitas, like its predecessor. It just throws the image on the screen, and says, "There you go." After sending a few probes out to see what the fuck is going on, they decide to send a manned pod to investigate the monolith. This is used to add a little tension, expectation, and acts as a diss to the Russians, as the monolith rejects the Russian pod. Motherfuckers. The rebooting of HAL has an air of importance to it. If Kubrick had been in charge, HAL would have destroyed the Lenova and entered the monolith itself, resulting in something even more beautiful, or else a very large explosion. Looks left. Do you think Star Trek The Voyage Home took inspiration from 2010? Looks right. Hollywood, they are always shafting each other. So, it's hard to tell. Rolls eyes. Bob Balaban, from Close Encounters, plays Roy Scheider's sidekick, because Robert Shaw was dead already, and Richard Dreyfuss was busy destroying his career. Bob does a good job of interacting with HAL. However, making HAL out to be an innocent, homicidal maniac in need of redemption is an odd character arc, even for a disembodied, emotionless voice. Dark Star's talking bomb is a much more interesting characterization, and concludes, as one might expect. Whilst Hell's desire to complete the mission is pathetic by comparison. Science fiction likes to talk real science using simple concepts. The slingshot method was not used here. Instead, Discovery 1 is used as a booster rocket. With Hell, the trusty artificial intelligence left in charge of Discovery 1. Bob manages to convince Hell that it is better to do what you are told than to attempt to escape down the rabbit hole and become omnipotent like Dave the Bastard, who makes several appearances as some sort of space-time stuttering ghost. These manifestations make little sense. Dave even suggests to Hell that he will ascend to his state of being once Jupiter explodes. What a load of bollocks. The attempt to humanize everything in this way detracts from the original. Attempting to explain the monoliths by making them generically magical is childish. Dave's ascent can be explained as being copied into another dimension or non-organic state, with the same process being suitable for an electronic piece of junk like Hell. This interweaving of man and machine is a common theme in science fiction, as humanity fights with itself and its tools. Pauses. Meanwhile, 2010 still attempts to humanize everyone and everything, with Irina and Dr. Floyd seeking comfort in the storm being one example, and Dr. Chandra's emotional pleas to Hell being another. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Pauses. Hell's part in this story could have been awe-inspiring and mesmerizing, rather than reducing his character to some kind of alien voice answering service. Pauses. You see, something's going to happen. You must leave. Pauses. What's going to happen? Rolls eyes. Something wonderful. Pauses. What? Vomits into bucket. I understand how you feel. You see, it's all very clear to me now. The whole thing. It's wonderful. Places penis into blender. All these worlds are yours except Europa. Attempt no landing there. Use them together. Use them in peace. Blends penis. What the fuck? It is hard to put into words what my thoughts are with respect to this revelation. 2010 takes the 2001 concept of an alien presence, then literally shoves it up the audience's ass-hole. The only conclusion one can make is that Dave, as a representative of Earth, was rejected by the alien monoliths. So they decided to try again, Europa, turning the solar system into a laboratory and mankind into lab rats. Smirks. At least, General Order 24 does not exist for these fucks. Although having these cunts as near neighbors is bound to end in tears. Pauses. Peace, I am out of here, word up. Exits stage left.